Prologue. Nurse Jody Hanson was only 1 month out of nursing school, but she was currently the only nurse manning the maternity ward. 2 nurses had called in sick at the last minute, and it would be another hour before their replacements arrived. They had to commute into Manhattan from New Jersey. She assumed their illnesses were related to the holiday season. She took her responsibilities more seriously. In the meantime, she was feeling quite harried. "Dr. Evans! Dr. Evans!" Jody called out to the doctor walking away from her down the hall. "What is it, nurse?" Dr. Evans impatiently replied. "It's the Zane baby, Simon, in room 8. This is the 3rd time in the last couple of hours that he's had trouble breathing. It's like he's choking," Nurse Jody reported. "You are going to have to deal with this on your own. My priority is the Streisand kid in room 1. When he starts to have trouble breathing, just spank him on the bottom. If that doesn't do the trick, hold him upside down by his ankles and slap his feet. Got it?" Dr. Evans directed. "Yes, doctor," Nurse Jody dutifully replied. "Good." Dr. Evans then set off down the hall to attend to his much more important patient. After taking a few steps, he suddenly remembered something else that was important to him and turned around. Nurse Jody was now facing away from him, and he could see what a great figure she had. She couldn't have been more than 19 years old and was a stunner. "Oh, Jody," he called back. Nurse Jody slowly turned around, feeling a little flush. Hearing Dr. Ted Evans refer to her as just Jody made her heart flutter. "Yes, Dr. Evans?" Jody said shyly. "When your shift is over at 10 tonight, why don't you come by my office? We can discuss patient treatment techniques, among other things. What do you say?" Dr. Evans said smoothly. "Okay." Nurse Jody tried to play it cool but was beaming inside. Dr. Evans was brilliant and handsome and had been flirting with her since she arrived. When she told her mom that Dr. Evans seemed interested in her, her mom was elated. A rich doctor was interested in her daughter. This was her dream come true. As Dr. Evans disappeared into room 1, she found herself daydreaming about dinner parties and picket fences. She wouldn't blow her date with Dr. Evans tonight. A few moments later, she was rudely knocked out of her reverie, hearing Simon's mother calling her from room 8. "God, what now?" she whispered to herself. "How can I help you, Mrs. Zane?" she asked in her most professional voice. Simon, he's having trouble breathing. Please help," Mrs. Zane said. Nurse Jody quickly grabbed the baby by the ankles and smacked him hard on his feet 2 times, not bothering to try the spanking first. As Dr. Evans predicted, this worked wonderfully, and Simon's breathing quickly returned to normal, though after a few breaths he started screaming. "You heard him," Mrs. Zane said accusingly. "I administer the treatment prescribed by Dr. Evans. He is brilliant, and there is no need to question his treatments. Your baby can breathe again," she scolded Mrs. Zane. With that, Nurse Jody left the room and closed the door behind her. That screaming baby and her ungrateful mother were really starting to annoy her. They were trouble. She walked to the nurse's station, sat down, and took a few deep breaths. She started imagining her new life with Ted, living in a nice house with a picket fence on Long Island. 1967 would be her year.